Hello, I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Claw.
And welcome to What's the Attraction,
where our work is your vacation.
Education through entertainment. It's never easy. When it succeeds, it's brilliant. And when it fails...
And it usually does.
It's pretty bad. Usually preachy, heavy-handed, or just lazy. And today, we want to discuss one of Walt Disney World's more successful ventures in teaching us about important subject matters while still being entertaining. This is Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Wait, I thought it was called Universe of Energy.
Actually, we're both right. The pavilion, the building that houses the ride inside, is called Universe of Energy. The ride itself is Ellen's Energy Adventure.
First, we should mention that this ride strikes the nostalgic chord in 4 different ways. For example, this ride stars one of comedy's funniest women, Ellen DeGeneres. Years before her talk show and Finding Nemo's Dory, Ellen had her own sitcom, Ellen, that went on air in 1994 and ran for 4 seasons.
Second, Jeopardy! The longtime running game show really seemed to have its greatest following right through the 90s.
Third, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Disney and PBS ran the popular children's educational show from 1993 to 1998 and still remains one of the best shining examples on how to do educational TV right. Bill taught us everything from tectonic plates and the periodic table of elements to physics and dinosaurs, and he got us psyched about it.
And fourth, dinosaurs. Our generation grew up with The Land Before Time.
The first one.
Yes. And Jurassic Park. So those prehistoric lizards were a big part of our childhoods.
But let's wax a little history, and for that, we gotta go back. Way back.
To the Big Bang?
No, just to 1982.
I can explain my Hansen phase in 1997.
We're not actually going back in time. Wait, you went through a Hansen phase?
No.
Okay. When Epcot opened on October 1st, 1982, the Universe of Energy was there from the start. Of course, then Ellen was still barely a rising star, and Bill still hadn't caught Disney's eye yet. Exxon sponsored the attraction, and the show had quite a different tone. Actor Vic Perrin narrated the films, and though it had a few moments of lighthearted visuals, the rest of it was pretty drab and straightforward. But let's be fair, it could have been worse.
How so?
It could have been sponsored by BP.
Oh, snap!
This version of the attraction lasted until January of 1996.
8 months later, the ride reopened with its new show, Ellen's Energy Crisis.
Oh wait, now it's Ellen's Energy Crisis?
Well, almost immediately, the Imagineers regretted how negative it sounded, so it got changed to Ellen's Energy Adventure. After Exxon's acquisition of Mobil in 2003, the sponsoring changed as well to ExxonMobil. They remained the attraction's sponsor until 2004. Today, the ride has no sponsor.
So what's the ride story? Well, once you enter a dark theater with standing room only, we are treated to some of DeGeneres' oddball stand-up. She's watching Jeopardy when her neighbor Bill Nye comes in to borrow some things for an experiment. When Ellen realizes her old college roommate, the ultra-competitive Judy, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is a contestant.
And Ellen gives her the most epic name in the history of mockery. Stupid Judy.
Wow, that was powerful. Profound, even.
With Judy now a professor of energy, this segues into Bill excitedly pontificating to Ellen about energy in the universe, but Ellen is uninterested, and she falls asleep and enters a dream where she's on Jeopardy alongside Albert Einstein and Stupid Judy. Whoa, head rush. And here, guests move into a different theater, this time with seats.
Of course, all the questions are about energy, and of course Ellen is failing miserably. Once the show reaches a commercial break, Bill Nye returns to give her, and the guests, a crash course in the history, uses, and variety of different forms of energy. Then your theater seats begin moving, and the movie becomes a ride. Both the original attraction and the current one featured a massive, immersive diorama featuring several audio-animatronic dinosaurs. It's easily the ride's best feature, and hilarious to see an audio-animatronic Ellen in the mix, too.
The point of the dinosaurs is to present to the audience where fossil fuels come from. Once the ride through the primeval jungle is complete, you again watch more films where Bill shows Ellen all the different forms of energy, like oil, coal, wind, gas, electric, and even solar, and takes us all over the world to show us how we harness all this energy and use it in our daily lives. With Bill's enthusiasm, Ellen's snarky wit, and a dash of some frank reality, this show impresses a lot of people.
Once Bill brings Ellen back to Jeopardy, our heroine is now able to go toe-to-toe with stupid Judy. Would you cut that out?
I will take No Way Jose for 300.
Does Ellen beat Judy? Well, you'll have to ride to find out. Tap G, your thoughts?
I like this ride, and if you ask me, it's worth seeing at least once when you go to Epcot. A lot of people skip over it on their way to Test Track, Mission Space, and Soarin', but it's worth checking out at least once. The dinosaurs we talked about, like we said, are easily the ride's best feature.
Certainly.
They are kind of ethereal, very creepy. They remind me a lot of the dinosaurs in the Rite of Spring segment of Fantasia.
Especially how some of them are posed.
Yeah, they're not quite as scientifically accurate as we see them in like Jurassic Park or whatever, and they just have this very somber, very dark feel to them. Like some dinosaurs are attacking each other, some of us just kind of looking around, some sneeze on you, some spit on you, some attack Ellen.
That's nice.
That's
where the audio animatronic Ellen comes in.
Yeah.
Awesome. I thought it was a nice touch.
Another thing I like is Ellen's humor. I've never actually watched her stand up. I've never watched her sitcom. I haven't even watched her talk show. But she is really good at this comedy. I don't know if it was scripted or what, but she does a lot of really cool fourth wall jokes. Like when the cast member talks about the no food drink policy, Ellen stands behind her mimicking it, and of course points out to the people who came in late.
Yes, that's fantastic. Really, the whole thing actually has a really good sense of humor. I'm actually very impressed. I mean, you get to some parts where it's like WKNRG or something like that.
Yeah, the radio station.
WNRG.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just, I think, for as dry as it used to be, I think they've come a long way.
Very much so. I thought I would be tired of it listening to Ellen and Bill's jokes over and over, but I actually wasn't. It felt fresh.
They do play off each other very well.
Very much. And there's also that cameo with Michael Richards.
Michael Richards! Kramer from Seinfeld?
Yeah. He's a caveman who discovers fire. Can you just imagine that? Jerry, you gotta listen to me! I discovered fire, Jerry!
Well, really, it's brilliant. You should be sharing it with everyone.
I really like this ride altogether. It's always really great to escape the heat and just take this journey, and of course see Alex Trebek with gray hair instead of white.
Yeah,
I give this.
You're right. He only has it's like, and his hair is not that gray just yet.
Yeah,
because I mean it was still the early '90s, but now, God, you see him today, and
yeah.
Oh, time of this podcast,
right.
He's got white hair.
Very much. So I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. What are your thoughts?
As far as for me, I mean, it's great to escape the heat, and I love. I mean, I can do this at least once every time I come to Epcot. I mean, I don't do it every time though. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So what else can we say? The attraction is dated in some ways, but is by no means a bad attraction. It's fun, entertaining, and a great way to escape that unmerciful Florida heat.
Yeah, about that. Now would be a great time to mention that this ride bucks the tradition of 3 to 5 minute length long rides in the parks and lasts a whole 45 minutes. There are new rides dispatched every 17 minutes, and thankfully there's almost never a wait. It's not that popular attraction in Future World. So make this a stop if you need a substantial amount of time out of the sun while still riding a ride.
Now, Ellen's Energy Adventure is accessible for guests with disabilities, but those traveling in an electric convenience vehicle or scooter are required to transfer to a wheelchair before entering the standard queue. Also, if you have anyone in your party that has a visual or hearing disability, stop at Guest Relations. Handheld captioning, assistive listening devices, and audio descriptions are available.
And as always, children need to be at least 7 to go alone, and if not, they need a supervisor who's at least 14 years old.
But let's face it, with the long running time, the creepy feel of the dinosaurs, and the almost dry movie, I think most kids under 7 may not be up to it, but I could be wrong.
I know I was 12 when I first rode it. Do you remember how old you were when you first rode it?
I was probably about 15 or 16. I was a little bit of a late bloomer to the theme park scene.
Yeah. I know the dinosaur part stuck with me, and some of Ellen's jokes. I think most kids will miss the point of the attraction, but I don't think there's anything I really object to.
It's a good attraction for everybody, especially those fans of Bill Nye or Ellen DeGeneres. You know those who get nostalgic? I'm sorry, Tap G, but I just still can't get over this. You actually went through a Hanson phase?
No, I said Henson. You know, Jim Henson. You know, I loved the Muppets when I was a kid.
Really, dude?
Shut up. Never find a stupid vibrate. Hey, hi, Mom. Can I call you back? What?
Nothing. I'm not saying anything. So, folks, that's our show. And remember, I'm Server Clock.
And I'm never showing my face again.
And thanks for listening. What's the Attraction? Where...
Wait.
Oh, now what?
Stupid Judy. Okay, I'm done.
Where our work is your vacation.
Stupid Judy. Wow, I'm called for.